Good morning, everyone. My brief today is to talk about how to deal with defects, when to use stems, when to use screws, augments, and graft. I truly apologize being not being there in person for today's conference due to some pressing personal reasons. I would have loved to meet and interact with all of you. And I would like to thank the organizer, Dr. Sanjay Dhar, Dr. Gaurav Kanade, Dr. Pramod, for having me here. My name is Vaibhav Bagaria. I work at the Sir H.N. Reliance Foundation Hospital in Mumbai. So let's begin by talking about when do we use stems. Now, there are a few very clear indications for the stem use. The first of them being severe deformities. And why do we use? One, that it helps correct alignment. Being an intramedullary device, it's like a self centering aligning device. And in addition, it also provides additional support. For me, any varus deformities in an osteoporotic patient more than 10 degrees and more than 15 degrees in younger patients is an indication for use of stem. I have a very low threshold for using stems, especially in valgus deformities, which are more than 5 to 8 degrees. Stems are also indicated in bone defects which are larger than 10 millimeter. Apart from that, the stems are used whenever we are using constraint as they help prevent loosening of the component. And they are also used to bypass the weak bone, for example, in case of stress fractures. There are relative indications for stem use. For any obese patient, it's a good tool to enhance the load bearing capacities. And revision surgeries usually have combination of all of the factors that I mentioned, and that is why most revision surgeries will use stem. For example, in this particular case, this is a primary case of a severe RA. You can see that the deformities are quite severe, 17-degree valgus and 14-degree on the right side. So you look here, you can see that there is bone defect, there are poor quality of bone, and of course the deformity. In this case, the stem helps centralize the component and also ensure that the weight distribution in the osteoporotic bone is adequate. The key points in executing the stem is one, aim is to have a press fit. You should use smallest possible length, but at the same time it should bypass the stress region. I personally use uncemented stems in the majority of cases and cemented stems only in very osteoporotic or old fragile patients where I feel that the stem by itself may cause a bit of toggle because there's not enough purchase and cause secondary fractures. Now let's turn our attention to the screws and bone graft. The screws and bone grafts are indicated in small contained defect. The foremost thing is that the bone should have an adequate quality. Often the screws can be used in conjunction with bone graft, and as I said, the one of the reasons why you should use or one of the indications where you should use is the younger patient with a good bone quality. The key point in executions are that the screw should be aimed at the center of the contained defect. We should ensure that it does not interfere with the keel. It should be perpendicular to the largest surface area when using the graft. For example, if you are using a graft, which I normally take as a tibial slice or the anterior chamfer, because I believe that's a good graft to have. Alternatively, you can use a tibial or distal femoral cut and put this, fix it with K-wire, take a saw cut perpendicular to the tibial side, and then put a screw. The It's also important that the screw does not touch the tibial tape directly, and often we are dealing with sclerosed bone, so you can use burr to smoothen and get good bleeding cancellous bone. Now we do robotics most of the time, and I do use a burr based robotics, so it's easy for me to switch on the mode which I called as a row mode. So there are three modes: speed, exposure, and unrestricted mode. So you can put in an unrestricted mode and use the burr to get a good cortical surface area. So in this particular case, you can look that it's not too significant defect. At the same time, the bone is not very strong. So we used this screw. The screw is not touching the tibial tray. It's going perpendicular to the surface of the defect, and it is of adequate length. That's the key. When do we use wedges and augments? So wedges and augments are used when there are unconfined or structural defect. When there is a large defect which is there is no cortical rim, that's the case when you should use wedge and augment. Also, when there are severe bone loss or metaphyseal defect, older patients with poor bone quality do well with wedges as compared to the bone graft. And of course, any complex deformity and revision cases, wedges and augments should be used. This is a case of a failed UKR done elsewhere. So you can clearly see on the tibial side, there is a varus collapse, there is loosening of the component. So what we did was, in this case, you will see that there will not be enough cortical bone to support our graft on the medial side. So of course we went in, we put the wedge here, and you'll see that we have used a stem. So the key step in executing a wedge is to use an appropriate jig. So often most revision system will have a sort of steep step cut for creating space or accommodating a wedge. Preserve the cortical bone where available. So it's very important because ultimately your wedge is going to rest on a cortical bone. It's important to see the sagittal cut because that could itself be a step rises. And any wedge which is more than 5 millimeter, it is preferred to use a stem. In summary, when you look at decisions, small defect less than 5 millimeter, we use screws alone. For moderate defect 5 to 10 millimeter, we should use bone graft, especially in young and biologically sound bones. It's a biological solution. Larger defects more than 10 definitely requires wedges or augment. And uncontained or severe defect, one should, or especially the metaphyseal defect, a cone can be added. In conclusion, I have a low threshold for using stem, a high threshold for using wedge. In younger patients, we prefer biological solutions, and in older patients, we prefer mechanical solution like wedge or augments and even sleeves. I thank you for your attention. That's my hospital, Reliance Hospital, where I work. And once again, I truly apologize for not being there in person. I look forward to catching you, all of you, soon. Thanks once again.